Top 25 WCF interview questions and answers. Windows Communication Foundation, WCF, is a powerful framework from Microsoft used to build secure, reliable, and scalable service-oriented applications. It allows developers to create distributed systems that can communicate across platforms, networks, and protocols. WCF is widely used in enterprise environments because it supports multiple communication styles, security models, and data formats. Preparing for a WCF interview requires a solid understanding of its architecture, components, bindings, contracts, and hosting options. In this video, we cover the top 25 WCF interview questions and answers, explain clearly and practically to help freshers and experienced professionals build confidence and succeed in technical interviews. 1. What is WCF? Windows Communication Foundation, WCF, is a framework for building service-oriented applications on the .NET platform. It allows applications to communicate with each other using different protocols, such as HTTP, TCP, and MSMQ. WCF unifies various Microsoft distributed technologies like ASMX web services, .NET remoting, and enterprise services into a single programming model. It supports multiple message patterns, including request-reply and one-way communication. WCF is highly configurable, secure, and scalable, making it ideal for enterprise-level distributed systems that require reliable and flexible communication between services and clients. 2. What are the main components of WCF? The main components of WCF include service, endpoint, binding, contract, and hosting environment. A service contains a business logic. An endpoint defines how a client communicates with a service using an address, binding, and contract. Binding specifies communication protocols and security settings. Contract defines service operations and data structures. Hosting environments include IIS, Windows services, and self-hosting options. These components work together to enable communication between distributed applications while maintaining flexibility, interoperability, and security in different deployment scenarios. 3. What is an endpoint in WCF? An endpoint in WCF is a communication point through which clients interact with service. Every WCF service must expose at least one endpoint. An endpoint consists of three key elements: address, binding, and contract, often referred to as the ABCs of WCF. The address specifies where the service is located. The binding defines how data is transmitted, and a contract describes what operations are available. Endpoints allow WCF services to support multiple clients using different protocols and communication styles while accessing the same service logic. 4. What is a WCF service contract? A service contract in WCF defines the operations that a service exposes to clients. It is created using an interface marked with a service contract attribute, and each method is marked with the operation contract attribute. The service contract specifies what methods a client can call, but does not define how they are implemented. This separation helps maintain loose coupling between services and clients. Service contracts are essential for interoperability and enable clients to understand how to interact with the service without knowing its internal logic. 5. What are data contracts in WCF? Data contracts define how data is structured and serialized when exchanged between a WCF service and its clients. They are created using the data contract attribute on a class and data member on its properties or fields. Data contracts ensure that data is transmitted in a consistent and predictable format across different platforms. They help control what data is shared and how it is represented in messages. Using data contract improves interoperability, versioning, and security by explicitly defining the data exposed by the service. 6. What is binding in WCF? Binding in WCF specifies how a client communicates with a service. It defines the transport protocol, message encoding, and security mechanisms. Common bindings include basic HTTP binding, net TCP binding, and WSHTTP binding. Each binding is designed for specific communication needs, such as interoperability or high performance. Bindings allow developers to configure communication behavior without changing service code. By selecting the appropriate binding, services can support different clients, security requirements, and performance levels while maintaining flexibility and scalability in distributed applications. 7. What is basic HTTP binding? Basic HTTP binding is a WCF binding designed for compatibility with older ASMX web services. It uses HTTP as a transport protocol and SOAP for message formatting. This binding is ideal when interoperability with non-.NET clients is required. Basic HTTP binding does not support advanced WCF features like reliable messaging or transactions by default. However, it is lightweight and widely supported across platforms. It is commonly used when building services that must communicate with legacy systems or third-party applications. 8. What is NetTCP binding? NetTCP binding is a high-performance WCF binding that uses TCP as a transport protocol. It is optimized for communication between .NET applications and supports features like security, transactions, and reliable messaging. NetTCP binding is faster than HTTP-based bindings because it uses binary messaging coding. However, it requires both the client and service to be built on the .NET platform. This binding is commonly used in Internet applications where performance and reliability are critical. 9. What is WSHTTP binding? WSHTTP binding is a WCF binding that supports WS-* standards such as security, transactions, and reliable messaging. It uses HTTP as a transport protocol and SOAP for message encoding. WSHTTP binding is suitable for enterprise-level applications that require advanced features and interoperability with other services supporting WS standards. Compared to basic HTTP binding, it provides more functionality but may have slightly lower performance. It is commonly used in secure, transactional business applications. 10. What is hosting in WCF? Hosting in WCF refers to the environment where a WCF service runs. Common hosting options include IIS, Windows services, and self-hosting in a console or desktop application. IIS hosting provides features like process recycling, security, and easy deployment. Windows services are suitable for long-running background services. Self-hosting offers full control over the service lifecycle. Choosing the right hosting option depends on factors such as scalability, availability, and application requirements. 11. What is IIS hosting in WCF? IIS hosting allows WCF services to run inside Internet Information Services. It provides automatic service activation, process management, security, and scalability. IIS hosting is easy to deploy and manage, making it a popular choice for web-based services. It supports HTTP and HTTPS protocols and integrates well with ASP.NET features. However, IIS hosting has limitations when it comes to non-HTTP protocols. It is best suited for services that require web access and high availability. 12. What is self-hosting in WCF? Self-hosting in WCF allows services to run inside any .NET application, such as a console or Windows Forms application. This option provides full control over the service lifecycle and configuration. Self-hosting is useful for lightweight or custom hosting scenarios where IIS is not suitable. However, it requires developers to manage service startup, shutdown, and error handling manually. Self-hosted services are commonly used in development, testing, or specialized deployment environments. 13. What is a duplex service in WCF? A duplex service in WCF allows two-way communication between the client and the service. In this model, the service can send messages back to the client independently of client requests. Duplex services are useful for real-time applications, such as chat systems, notifications, or live updates. They require a callback contract implemented by the client. NetTCP binding is commonly used for duplex communication because it supports persistent connections and efficient message exchange. 14. What is fault handling in WCF? Fault handling in WCF allows services to return structured error information to clients using faults. Faults are created using the fault exception class and defined through fault contracts. Unlike unhandled exceptions, faults provide meaningful error details without exposing sensitive information. Fault handling improves reliability and user experience by allowing clients to understand and respond to errors appropriately. It also helps maintain security and consistency in distributed systems by controlling how errors are communicated. 15. What is message security in WCF? Message security in WCF protects the contents of messages regardless of the transport protocol. It encrypts and signs SOAP messages to ensure confidentiality and integrity. Message security is useful when messages pass through multiple intermediaries. It supports various authentication mechanisms, such as certificates and usernames. While message security provides strong protection, it can impact performance due to additional processing. It is commonly used in enterprise applications requiring high security and interoperability. 16. What is transport security in WCF? Transport security in WCF secures communication at the transport layer using protocols like HTTPS or SSL. It encrypts the entire communication channel between client and service. Transport security is faster than message security because it relies on underlying network protocols. However, it only protects data while in transit and does not secure individual messages. Transport security is ideal for point-to-point communication scenarios where performance is important and intermediaries are not involved. 17. What is the difference between message security and transport security? Message security secures individual messages by encrypting and signing them, while transport security secures a communication channel. Message security works across multiple hops and intermediaries, whereas transport security is limited to point-to-point communication. Transport security offers better performance but less flexibility. Message security provides higher security and interoperability. The choice depends on application requirements, such as performance, security level, and communication architecture. 18. What is throttling in WCF? Throttling in WCF controls the number of concurrent calls, sessions, and instances a service can handle. It helps prevent service overload and improves performance stability. Throttling settings can be configured in the service configuration file. Proper throttling ensures fair resource usage and protects services from excessive client requests. It is especially important in high-traffic applications where unmanaged requests could degrade service performance or cause failures. 19. What is instance management in WCF? Instance management in WCF determines how service instances are created and managed. WCF supports 3 instance modes: per call, per session, and single. Per call creates a new instance for each request. Per session creates 1 instance per client session. Single uses 1 instance for all clients. Instance management affects scalability, performance, and resource usage. Choosing the correct mode depends on the service's state requirements and expected client load. 20. What is concurrency management in WCF? Concurrency management in WCF controls how multiple threads access service instances. It is managed using the concurrency mode property, which can be single, multiple, or reentrant. Single allows only 1 thread at a time. Multiple allows concurrent access but requires thread safety. Reentrant allows callbacks without deadlocks. Proper concurrency management is essential to avoid race conditions, deadlocks, and performance issues in multi-client environments. 21. What is serialization in WCF? Serialization in WCF is a process of converting objects into a format suitable for transmission, such as XML or binary. WCF primarily uses Data Contract Serializer, but also supports XML Serializer. Serialization ensures that data can be transmitted across networks and platforms. Choosing the right serializer affects performance, interoperability, and compatibility. Efficient serialization is important for large data transfers and high-performance applications. 22. What is reliable messaging in WCF? Reliable messaging in WCF ensures that messages are delivered in the correct order without duplication or loss. It is implemented using WS Reliable Messaging and supported by bindings like WSHTTP binding and NetTCP binding. Reliable messaging is useful in unstable network conditions where message loss is possible. It improves data consistency and application reliability, but may add overhead. It is commonly used in mission-critical enterprise systems. 23. What is WCF REST? WCF REST allows developers to build RESTful services using WCF. It supports HTTP methods such as GET, POST, PUT, and DELETE. WCF REST services typically use JSON or XML for data exchange. Attributes like WebGet and WebInvoke are used to define REST operations. WCF REST is lightweight and suitable for web and mobile applications. It provides flexibility while leveraging WCF's infrastructure. 24. What is versioning in WCF? Versioning in WCF allows services to evolve without breaking existing clients. It can be achieved by adding new operations, using optional data members, or creating new service endpoints. Proper versioning ensures backward compatibility and smooth upgrades. WCF supports versioning through data contracts and namespaces. Effective versioning is critical in enterprise systems where multiple clients depend on the same service. 25. What are the advantages of WCF? WCF offers flexibility, interoperability, and scalability for building distributed applications. It supports multiple protocols, bindings, and security models. WCF integrates various Microsoft communication technologies into one framework. It provides strong security, reliable messaging, and transaction support. WCF is highly configurable and suitable for enterprise environments. Its ability to support different communication patterns makes it a powerful choice for service-oriented architecture. Mastering WCF concepts is essential for developers working with distributed and enterprise-level applications. Understanding its architecture, binding, security models, and hosting options helps you design efficient and reliable services. These top 25 WCF interview questions and answers provide a solid foundation for technical interviews and real-world implementation. Whether you are a fresher or an experienced professional, revising these topics will boost your confidence and clarity. Keep practicing. Explore real projects and stay updated with modern service technologies to stay competitive in today's software development landscape.